Neutral. It's Vincent. The Gun of the Worthy. It's a new weapon that's Vincent exclusive that grants the new effect Ice Weakness on first use. Alrighty, so let's take a look at the aesthetics. And I gotta admit, it's pretty cool. Very Vincent, I will say that. Very Vincent. His tail's in the front. Got a little cutout on the back too. The leather looks dope. Gauntlets look cool. There's X's on the belt buckles. He's got a tattoo. This is almost cartoonish. It looks like a Nerf gun. It's not a Nerf gun though. It's stained with the blood of his enemies. I like it. Gun of the Worthy. It is an 1120% physical ice weapon, which is right in line with the current meta elemental damage, but without needing an extra whatever for it to actually go off. Meaning, you don't have to have a buff, you don't have to have a debuff, you don't have to be at a certain level of attack, you don't have to be a certain level of magic attack, you don't have to do anything. This just does 1120% on its own. This is the highest elemental damage in the game without any additional requirements. This weapon also comes with a new status effect called Ice Weakness. And what it does is it makes any enemy that is not currently weak or resistant to ice, it makes them weak to ice. So it applies an ice weakness to the boss, to the thing you're fighting. What this does is it makes the enemy allowed to have its ice resistance lowered on top of that. So not only are they now weak to ice, you can now lower their ice resistance, increasing your damage even further, making ice the clear-cut, far and away strongest element in the game right now. Like by a wide margin. Because not only does it have a really powerful summon, it has a secondary summon that increases all of your ice damage. You have an ice weapon that makes enemies weak to ice. You have two weapons that increase ice damage in Citric Wand and Scimitar with Cid. Ice is by far and away the strongest element in the game. Like immediately in the game. All that said, this weapon is insane. Like, you could take the ice weakness aside, right? Throw it away. This weapon could just do 1120% physical ice damage, increases limit gauge by 5%, give the physical attack all allies in the ice potency, and this weapon would be great. This weapon would be great. Like right now would be great. It is easily the best physical ice weapon in the game. That makes it like the best weapon in the game for offense. The only things that this will not be useful for are stages where they are resistant to ice. So Shiva and a couple of other like examples. I think the blue dragon is resistant to ice. We normally don't pull on banners for the weapon. We usually pull on banners for the outfit. So we're gonna look at Coat of the Worthy, which gives boost attack all allies 10. And Crimson Hue of the Worthy. Oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hey, that's different. This is really strong. So you do lose 5% from an Arcanum, or an Arcanum, whatever you want to call it. But when you're at the, when the diamond's full, he's getting an additional 20% extra damage on top of that. This is an outfit that is giving Vincent 50% more damage. And not only that, it still does 20% on the levels he's not using this ice weapon. This is ridiculous. This is insanely strong. I'm trying to think if I have to say anything else. I feel like this one's pretty cut and dry. It's just really good. I don't know what else to say. It's really good. I don't have any criticisms. It's good in basically every stage in the game. Right? It's only not good in the stages that they're already weak to ice or they're resistant to ice. but you weren't going to bring ice damage to the resistant to ice anyway. And the weak to ice stage, it's already weak to ice, so it doesn't matter. You're still doing 1120% damage. You know what I mean? Like, right, yeah. It's interesting. I don't have anything negative to say. It's really good. That's just it. It's just really good. OB6, it goes to 930%. That's really high. It's just really strong. I don't know what else to say. It's really good, man. It's good. And the outfit's great. I guess if you wanted me to say one negative thing, it doesn't have any defensive abilities. So it's pure offense. But like, that's the only negative. Other than that, it's great. In terms of the wish list, for Vincent, not a ton of options for physical attack. We've talked about this before. When his Holiday Garm came out, he does have like 1 or 2 weapons that are pretty good in the offhand, and that's pretty much the end of it. You've got the TO3 Model N, which gives 62 boost attack and 26 physical ability potency. So this would be pretty good for the physical attack all allies weapon, right? Because he currently doesn't have any physical attack. So that would be pretty okay. You could do Holiday Garm as well, just because it does the boost physical attack. It gives fire potency, which you really wouldn't need, but it's still a really strong weapon all the same. Wasn't there another one? I thought there was a second Vincent weapon that had physical attack. Maybe I'm tripping. Short barrel does, but that's not what I'm looking for. I thought there was a 3152 physical attack. No, I guess this was the only one. So yeah, this is really like the 2 that you're looking for. The TO3 Model N is one of them, and then Holiday Garm is the other. And those are your 2 boost physical attack weapons. You can choose whichever one you want, obviously. Whichever one's at a higher overboost, I would just choose that one instead. I'm going to include both because I don't have Holiday Garm yet. As you can see, not held up at the top. And I'd like to pull some copies of it. The next weapon on the list would be his sub-weapons. I would include the recently released Blade of Ruin, which at OB10 gives boost to physical attack 62 plus 39 ice potency, which is very strong. And this combined with an OB10 TO3 Model N would max out Vincent's physical attack with just 2 weapons, on top of him having physical attack all allies. So that's a really strong combination, and then it opens up the possibilities for you to go get some ice potency or to go get some physical ability potency, whichever you prefer. There aren't very many options for physical attacking that don't have physical attack on them. So the only one that I can think of that has silver, oh, it was Cloud's, right? It was Cloud's. Cloud's Enhanced Sword does attack and ice potency and has a slightly higher physical attack stat than Aerith's Silver Staff does. Aerith's Silver Staff is only at 477. Cloud's Enhanced Sword starts at 540 at OB10. So this is the better option of the 2. And then after that, I would just go for a physical ability potency weapon. If you've got one of those event weapons that do HP and physical ability potency, I'd say you're pretty good. In that case, you could pull for a different Vincent weapon if you wanted to. You could pull for a different wish list item, whatever you prefer, something that you're looking for. You can look for something that could support Vincent. So if you wanted to grab like Cid's Scimitar and help get that up, you could do that, because Cid's Scimitar also increases physical attack, which is obviously very good. I think it's this one. So yeah, at OB6, this can get physical attack up to high and ice damage up to high off a 2 cast with buff debuff extension, which is, you know, obviously very good. So that's an option for the last slot. Like I said, it's pretty open. You could also look to like fill out some of his other builds. You can get Kugelblitz, which is good for his Earth weapon, which is in the new Limit Break, Reawakened Limit Break draw, and also one of the ticket pulls for the Battle Tower, the Maelstrom Tower. So that's an option as well. But personally, I would just leave the full Vincent build, unless you've got a really good, unless you've got TO3 Model N and a high overboost, which I do not. If you've got Holiday Garm and a high overboost, which I do not, then you'll have a good offhand weapon to give him. Otherwise, I would make sure that you're trying to get one of those good physical attack weapons, because that combined with the Blade of Ruin will then give him a great option for an offhand weapon. If you're planning on using Glenn on the team, there are other physical attack options, and many of them, that get your physical attack up the rest of the way while also getting your ice potency up the way. There is one for Zac, which is Pressure Ridge, also does 62 and 39. And I believe, what was the other one? Tifa's does 46 and 39. So I think this would get you to the 6 breakpoint. So you'd be at 40% instead of 50, but that's fine, right? That's fine. Whatever you have at the higher overboost level, you know, you could use. Otherwise, I would just throw on Pressure Ridge or throw on Blade of Ruin, whichever one you're not using, and go from there. Generally speaking, I would assume you're using 𝓟 in that scenario, because 𝓟 can lower ice resistance while also dealing ice damage, which would be very, very good paired with this new Vincent weapon. And then your third person would be your support anyways. So that would be either Sid, Aerith, you know, whichever you prefer, right? So yeah, it's probably Sid if you pulled for his Rocket Lance. If you didn't, then Aerith's fine. Aerith increases physical attack too with 𝓟𝓵𝓵. Also has the ability to buff ice damage with 𝓟𝓾𝓵𝓵. You know, she's got the options there. So now that we've talked about all of that, let's go ahead and do our step up draw here. I still recommend you only do one pull on each of the banners right now until we have all of the banners in front of us, so we can see kind of what we're looking at and you can make an educated decision. You do obviously, as a limited banner, you want to make sure that you're pulling at least once on each one of these banners to get one copy of the weapon, just so you can upgrade it with weapon parts down the road. This feels like a priority for Vincent though. This weapon does. Ooh, I got a 5-star from the step up draw. Imagine. Nope, Sid. Spear, okay. All right, sick. Go ahead and check the stamp card just to double check. Looks exactly the same as the last one. Nothing crazy here. Yeah, all right. That's I'm gonna do at least the one pull so we can get ourselves the, wow, a 3-stamper, let's go. So we can get a copy of the weapon. All 4 of these banners are gonna be really good. Yeah, I figures, all right. 3 stamps so I don't get nothing, that makes sense. A lot of purples though. I got a purple one on the new weapon, let's go, nice. Actually, looks like I got quite a few of the purples there. How many weapon parts did we get for that? Holy hell. We got 4. Yeah, one of them was blue. We got 5 total though, that's still really good.